Hey everyone, it's Melinda with Tailored and Teal, and welcome back to another What Sold video. These are sales on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay from November 16th through November 30th of 2024. I actually had one sale on Mercari this time. It's been a while since I've had a sale over there. And I think it was in my last What Sold video where I talked about delisting all of my items from Mercari and slowly relisting them. I'm still working on that, still have hundreds of items to go, but this particular item was a newly listed item. This was a lot of vintage books by Watkins. It was a cookbook and household hints. They were both hardcover and they both were spiral bound. These were free to me items. They sold for $15 within a day or two of me listing them. Mercari has no fees, so my net profit was $15. And again, that was a free to me item, so 15 bucks right into my pocket. Next on Poshmark, I had 4 sales. The first sale was a genuine leather Mexican-made sunflower adjustable snap bracelet. This came out of my most recent, which is almost a year old now, Shop Goodwill jewelry unboxing. In every Google image search that I did on this bracelet, they all said that they were Mexican made. Mine didn't have Mexico on it, but I did put that in the title and use it as a keyword because maybe someone was searching specifically for this type of bracelet. It sold for $8 with no discounted shipping. Next up is a new with tags Alfani bright flamenco pink draped crisscross front blouse. This was the last blouse of this particular item to sell. I had multiple sizes. I got this out of a bulk liquidation lot years and years ago. This one was either a 2X or a 3X, and it finally sold for $11 with no discounted shipping. Next up is a Free Country charcoal gray fitted velour lined coat or jacket. This came out of a Helpsy Source or Cozy Threads. I can't remember what they were at the time that I purchased this, but one of their winter outerwear boxes. It sold for $15 and there was no discounted shipping as well. And the last sale on Poshmark was a pair of Tom's shoes. This was the Alpargata. I'm probably saying that wrong, but that was the style name. Leather wrap, green plaid bow slip-on shoes. I picked these up with my local Salvation Army. I only paid $1.49 for them because that day all white tags were $1.49, so I scored on that. They were a smaller size and they sold for $15 with no discounted shipping. And they honestly looked brand new. There were no tags, but they looked like someone had never worn them. So of my 4 Poshmark sales, I made $49 in sales. There were $11.90 in fees. Again, I gave out no shipping discounts, giving me a profit of $37.10. And my average sales price for each item that sold was $12.25. Moving on to eBay, where I had 9 sales, and I just realized that this is going to be a super quick video because I'm flying through the items and I didn't have that many sales to begin with. The first sale on eBay was a vintage Walt Disney Productions by Bonnie stainless steel kid spoon that had Mickey Mouse at the top of it. This was actually my own kid or baby spoon back in the 1980s. I'm not planning on having children. I really had no use for this, and I saw that it actually had some resale value. So I listed it at $11.99 because it did have some wear to it. It sold within a day or two of me listing it, and it sold for that full asking price of $11.99. Next up is a new with tags Van Heusen maroon and red paisley print popover blouse. This was a size medium. This came out of a mystery box from a random company I found online that I do not recommend, but this did sell. It sold for $14.75. Next up is a gold tone U.S. Army wreath oval pendant woven cord bolo tie. It was adjustable. I did use the keyword Western as well. When I unboxed this out of my Shop Goodwill jewelry unboxing, I thought that maybe it was something special, like something branded from the U.S. Army, but it wasn't. And there were no brands or markings or anything on it. It sold relatively quickly for a piece of jewelry within 2 to 3 weeks of me listing it, and it sold for $10.19. Next up is a dress by Anthropologie. The style name was called Zaddy, and it was a velvet, colorful, adjustable strap slip dress. It was a size medium. I picked this up at a flea market for $5. It sold within a month or two of me listing it, and it sold for $29.74, which was my full asking price after a discount that I had running for the month. Then we have a lot of For the World Book Encyclopedia annual supplement booklets. These were years 1958 through 1961. I found these in my mom's garage while we were cleaning out her estate. They were in really nice condition. The customer that purchased them ended up messaging me before purchasing them, asking if it had a particular smell. And if you sell vintage books, you know what smell I'm talking about. It's a vintage, mildew, musty, moldy smell that sometimes is very powerful and overwhelming. The customer asked if these books had that specific smell, and I couldn't remember, so I went up to my office, got them out, smelled them. They did have a slight musty smell to them, but not as bad as I've sold and I've also smelled before. Some people are really sensitive to that smell, so I assured the person it does have a slight smell, but not too bad. They went ahead and purchased them for $14, which was an offer I sent to them. And when they received them, they did message me saying that it was exactly how I described them, just a little bit of mustiness, but not too bad. So happy customer there. Next up is a green tassel fan long statement necklace that had filigree and terracotta cabochons on it. A very, very pretty piece, unbranded, no precious jewels or metals. I picked this up at Goodwill many years ago. I really thought that it would sell pretty quickly because it was just a nice statement piece, but it didn't. It took several years to sell, and it finally sold for $8. Next up is a vintage 1977 Fisher-Price toy medical doctor nurse kit. It did not have the original case with it, but it did include the eye chart, and there were 7 pieces in total. This was my toy as a kid, even though it was from 1977. I think it was probably handed down to me from another family member because I was born in the 80s. This sold within a week of me listing it for $10.49. If I had the case and all of the pieces with it, it would have sold for around 18 to 20, but because mine was missing a few pieces and didn't have the case, it sold a little less than I originally expected, but that's okay because it was a free to me item. Next up is a new with tags, Abound Heather Gray Cozy Ribbed Knit Sweater. It also had a hood on the back of it. It was a size large. This came out of a mystery box that I purchased on Poshmark. It had all Nordstrom new with tags items, and it sold for $14.69. And then the last item to sell was a pale yellow, genuine raw stone, gold tone wire wrapped cocktail ring. It was a size 5.5. And this thing was almost like a weapon because of how far it stuck out from the finger. Like, it was a significant ring. Very pretty, very well made, and it sold for $11.50. So of my 9 sales on eBay, I had $125.35 in sales. I made a shipping profit of $13.02. Fees were $38.25, giving me a profit of $100.12. And my average sales price for each item that sold was $13.93. And now to go over my final numbers from sales on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay from November 16th through November 30th of 2024. I had a total of 14 sales. I made $189.35 in sales. There were $37.13 in fees. My cost of goods were $32.83, giving me a total profit of $119.39, and my average cost of goods for each item that sold was $2.35. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this What Sold video. Again, it was short and sweet, but I have made a commitment to at least get my What Sold videos up for the year, which I do every 2 weeks on my channel. And I really appreciate your patience and understanding with the year that I've had. I'm hoping that 2025 is a little bit better, but time will tell. And as always, I will see you in the next video.